you very much, Mr. Speaker. That is 100% correct. And I wish to inform Honorable Oundo, my friend too, that when the leader of majority was moving this bill, he actually in extenso relied on the report to say this is how the bill is going to be amended clause by clause. And that is the process of legislation. The reason the bill is committed to a committee is so that the committee is able to look at the constitutionality of the bill and how else it can be aligned to policy and to any other statute as it may be necessary. So I wish to state to the House that the office of the head of public service, which is proposed to be created, has several amendments under that provision so as to align it with the Constitution. And therefore, it implores upon the leader of minority to actually read the proposed amendments. Then he would have possibly a change of mind. If he does not read and he reads only the bill, then he would possibly be entitled to make the arguments he's making here, but that has to be in his contribution to this debate. It cannot be a preliminary point to be decided on. And that's where he has actually gone wrong. He has digressed from the debate we are having. We have made it elaborate that the office of the head of public service is going to be in the executive office of the president. It is not as we have it here. Number two, it is an office in the public service. That now falls under Article 132 and 134 of the Constitution. Therefore, that cures the defect. The rest of it, we have analyzed what the functions are, which are not in conflict at all with the office of the Chief Cabinet Secretary, because we know this exists. In the draft bill, there may have been a conflict, but that has been removed. Therefore, I would urge the leader of minority to look at the report and then form possibly a second opinion. What he has elaborately told the court is the dissenting opinion of Honorable OTIENDE AMOLO, and that is going to be the debate for those who are opposing the bill. But Honorable OTIENDE AMOLO opposed after we actually made all these recommendations which are within his knowledge. As regards the Chief Administrative Secretary, again, kindly do read the report and the addendum. It's very important because we were alive to the fact that this position had been annulled twice by the courts. Therefore, we had to see the loopholes which are likely to be there when it comes to the positions vis-a-vis what is provided for in the Constitution. So what have we done? Number one, we have made it no mention whatsoever. If it is mentioned in the bill, we have recommended that these are not state officers. State officers are created or are provided for by the Constitution. These are not state officers. They are offices that are established under the Public Service Commission. So that, in that manner, number one, we have complied with the Constitution.
Honorable Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity. If you read Article 260 of our Constitution, it describes who a state officer is. And one fundamental issue around it is that anyone who gets a pay from consolidated funds is a state officer. So how you are going to remove these people who will be earning their parts from the exchequer from being called state officer, Honorable Speaker? Why are we shooting ourselves in the foot just to appease some 22 people who are idling out there, Honorable Speaker? Let us follow the law and do what the law prescribes.
Unfortunately, they may be 10, not 22. They may be 5. We don't know what that number is going to be, because it is now reserved for the Public Service Commission to work on the element of complement of that particular office. But let me make it clear state officers are actually set out in the constitution who they are. Now that CASs are not in there, then they are excluded. They are not state officers, and as such we cannot say they do fall under that provision of the constitution. Number two, we have also redefined what their functions are, and principally they are assistants to cabinet secretaries. They are going to work under the direction of the cabinet secretaries to assist them in meetings, to assist them in the government portfolio, and whatever other assignment cabinet secretaries are going to assign to them. We have not whatsoever provided that they are in between cabinet secretaries and the principal secretaries. In fact, there is no mention of the principal secretary in the provisions we are talking about. In essence, what you are saying, it is that these CASs will be assisting, they will be helping cabinet secretaries, while principal secretaries are the technocrats. The people are supposed to be accounting officers and are supposed to administer the various state departments which are under them. There is no provision whatsoever that a CAS is going to administer a state department, whether assigned to him by the minister or otherwise. There is no provision for that. That is not one of the functions we have. Therefore, looking at this in totality, Mr. Speaker, I believe what is being raised by the leader of minority and those who have supported it are actually debates that are supposed to be in opposition to the bill, and this can only be sustained if they have read the report itself and the addendum. They must also know that we have the third reading of this bill, the committee of the whole house, where all the amendments that are proposed will actually be executed. The arguments being advanced now will totally change once this bill goes through the committee of the whole house, because unless those amendments are within their knowledge, they cannot be hard to say that what you are saying is unconstitutional. Therefore, in my view, the debate by the leader majority is preemptive, it is premature, and it is a debate. It is not a point of law that will amount to a point of order on constitutionality, and therefore kindly be overruled.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you are being invited here by the